Whoa. Okay, get this. Over half
Oh, wow.
of all the small businesses here in the U.S. about to totally change hands.
Yeah.
Like completely. Poof.
Right.
Different owners?
Yeah.
We're talking about $10 trillion, maybe even more,
Yeah.
in assets that are going to be
It's incredible.
changing hands. And I know what you're thinking. Inheritance, right?
Yeah.
Family businesses, kids taking over. Not this time.
Yeah.
Millennials are stepping up, buying these businesses straight from the boomers getting ready to retire. It's like a whole new kind of wealth transfer, ready to dive into this.
Absolutely. Let's do it. It's fascinating just how many businesses we're talking about here. It's a massive shift.
Mind-boggling. We've got this Business Insider article, and it's really got us thinking. This isn't just like a changing of the guard. It's way, way bigger. This could totally reshape how we think about building wealth in like the 21st century.
It really could.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's interesting to me is we always hear about millennials, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Can't afford houses.
Exactly.
Can't catch a break.
Yep.
But they're buying businesses.
Right.
That's wild.
Yeah.
This article cites Forrester research.
Okay.
And they say a full 64%
Yes.
of business buyers right now, millennials or even younger. So what's the deal with that? What's making them the big spenders?
I think it's a lot of things coming together at the right time. You get this huge generation of boomers.
Yeah.
They built these businesses, right? But they're kids.
Yeah.
They're not necessarily jumping in to take over.
Interesting.
They saw their parents working all the time, all those sacrifices.
Makes sense.
And they're like, you know what? I want a life. I want a little bit more of a work-life balance.
Yeah.
I don't want to be chained to the business 24/7.
I get it, right?
Yeah.
I've got friends. Their parents, super successful, built amazing businesses, but they are always working.
Always. Yeah, it's tough.
Okay. So we've got the younger generation opting out of the family business, but at the same time,
the
the world they're facing,
totally different.
it's not the same as their parents.
Completely different.
Right.
Yeah.
Housing, forget about it.
Oh, yeah.
Crazy expensive.
Tough.
Job market,
Uncertain.
who knows? And starting a business from the ground up,
Risky.
super risky.
Yeah.
Suddenly buying a business that already exists
Right.
makes a lot of sense.
Suddenly looks like a really good option.
Yeah.
Way less risky.
It's okay, I can do this.
Exactly.
Instead of
You're not starting from zero.
zero,
Yeah.
building everything up from scratch, you're like, okay, this thing's already working.
It's a huge advantage.
You've got customers,
Yeah.
you've got suppliers.
Supply chains are already figured out. You've got brand recognition.
like all that stuff takes years and years
Years to build that on your own. Yeah.
to build on your own.
Yeah.
So it makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Plus, and I'm just thinking out loud here,
Yeah.
getting a loan for a business that's already running
Totally.
versus,
Oh, yeah.
hey, I've got this great idea.
I've got a dream.
Give me $1 million.
It's not my money.
They're going to be like, see ya.
Yeah, you're right.
It's got to be easier.
The banks, they love to see that cash flow.
Right.
Proof that the business is working.
Yeah.
They love to see that.
So you're not.
Plus, you've got the assets of the business.
Oh, collateral.
Yeah.
Collateral.
Exactly. And that's huge for them.
Way better than, I don't know, a house or something.
Yeah. Especially these days
Yeah.
with the way the economy is.
Oh, for sure. For sure.
Yeah, different ballgame.
Don't forget seller financing.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sellers, a lot of times, they're like invested in seeing their business succeed,
Totally.
even after they're gone. So they're more willing to be flexible with the financing.
Makes sense. Yeah. They want to pass the torch, right?
Exactly.
To the right person.
Yes, to the right person. Okay, so buying a business, not a bad idea, but it's not like you can just pick one out like a cereal box at the grocery store.
Definitely not.
This article,
Yeah.
it told this story about the owner of the Texas Renaissance Festival,
Oh, wow.
and he's been trying to find a buyer
Yeah.
to take it over, and it's been...
That's a tough one. Really hard for him. And I think it's because it's not just about the money.
No, absolutely not.
It's about finding the right person
It's got to be the right fit.
who understands what the business is really about.
Exactly, yeah.
The heart and soul of the thing.
The legacy.
Yeah. And this guy, George Coulomb, he built that festival from nothing.
Wow.
Finding someone to take care of his baby.
That's a big deal.
It's got to be so hard.
Yeah, emotionally, I'm sure.
Totally.
Yeah.
Makes you realize that selling a business
Mm-hmm.
can be just as emotional as buying one.
Oh, for sure.
Especially when it's something you've poured your life into.
Yeah, absolutely.
Now, there was this other story
Okay.
about this millennial couple, the Gutkunsts. And they seem to have figured this whole thing out.
Really?
Yeah, they bought this 150-year-old company.
Wow, 150 years.
That makes oars for rowing boats.
Okay, like old school oars?
Yeah, Shaw and Tenney, it's called.
I've heard of them.
Yeah. And get this, they already own 2 other businesses.
Wow, serial entrepreneurs.
Right.
That's impressive.
They're like the poster children for this whole trend.
They're killing it.
I know, right?
Oh.
But what's interesting is that
What's that?
this article, it said that only about a quarter of businesses that are listed for sale actually sell.
Really? That few?
Yeah. What gives?
That's interesting.
Why aren't more of these deals happening?
Sometimes it's just location.
That makes sense.
Yeah. You might have a fantastic business.
Yeah.
But if it's in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah, who wants to move?
Yeah, or if it's tied to a specific place and the buyer wants to be somewhere else.
It's a no-go.
It's just not going to work.
Makes sense.
Yeah, and sometimes it's about
What's that?
specialized knowledge.
Okay.
Some businesses just require very specific skills.
You can't just walk in and
Exactly.
run a nuclear power plant.
You can't just wing it.
You need to know what you're doing.
Yeah, experience counts for a lot.
Big time. But sometimes I think it's got to be those
What's that?
hidden problems.
Oh, yeah, the skeletons in the closet.
You think everything's great, and then boom.
Surprise.
Debt, lawsuits, taxes.
Yeah, all sorts of things can be lurking.
Scary stuff.
It's like buyer beware.
Totally. Do your homework.
Absolutely.
Speaking of unexpected problems,
Yeah.
the article mentioned something else.
What's that?
Are you the kind of person who can handle a crisis?
Oh, that's a good point.
Because owning a business,
Yeah.
even one that's already successful, means dealing with stuff you don't expect.
All the time, yeah.
What was that example they gave?
Oh, they said, imagine a truck hits your building.
Oh.
What do you do?
Total chaos.
Your whole plan out the window.
But I was ready for anything.
Adaptability is key.
So it's not just about the money.
No, not at all.
It's about being able to handle the pressure.
The mental and emotional side of it.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, that's huge.
Okay, so we've talked about millennials buying businesses,
Right.
but there's another player in the game.
Oh, yeah. Who's that?
Private equity firm.
They're buying up everything.
They're like the big kids on the playground.
They come in with the big bucks.
Exactly. Tons of money.
And they're not afraid to use it.
But their whole approach is different.
How?
They're not usually looking to buy just one business. They're buying up a bunch.
Consolidating.
Yeah. Say they want to get into the, I don't know, the bakery business.
Okay, bakeries, yeah.
They'll buy up a bunch of different bakeries.
Create a bakery empire.
And then they try to like make them all run the same way.
Streamline things, cut costs.
Exactly. Which can be good.
Yeah, sometimes.
If a business is struggling,
Need some help.
they can come in, invest some money, make it more efficient.
Turn around.
But the downside is
What's that?
you lose that unique character.
Oh, the heart and soul.
Yeah, like with a family-owned business.
It becomes just another cog in the machine.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's sad.
And the article talked about this bakery in Chicago, Dinkle's Bakery.
Tinkles, yeah, I remember that.
The owner, he couldn't find anyone to buy it
No.
who wanted to keep it going the way it was.
Oh, no.
It's heartbreaking.
It's a shame
Yeah, it is.
because it's not just about the business itself. It's about the people, the community.
The history,
Yeah, all of that.
it's a loss.
It's a lot to think about.
It really is.
All these moving parts.
Yeah. The economy, what millennials want, what happens to our communities.
It's all connected.
It's all tied together. If someone's listening to this,
Yeah.
what's the main takeaway? What should they remember?
I think the big takeaway here is inheritance.
Okay.
It's not the only way to build wealth anymore.
Interesting.
It used to be you got ahead if your family gave you money.
The old-fashioned way.
But millennials, they're showing us a different way.
Yeah. Make your own luck.
Exactly. You can create your own inheritance.
That's a powerful idea.
It takes work, though, right?
Yeah, for sure.
You got to do your research, plan carefully.
Due diligence, right?
Exactly.
But the payoff could be huge.
Oh, yeah, both financially and personally.
Like building something of your own.
Yeah, exactly. That's what the article called it, creating an inheritance.
Love that.
And it's not just for millennials either.
Anyone can do this.
If you're ambitious, you want to build something for yourself, your family.
You're not stuck waiting for a handout.
Exactly. It's about taking control.
I love it.
The author, she says, even if you don't come from a wealthy family, you can essentially create an inheritance for yourself and future generations by buying a business. It's about rewriting the rules of wealth transfer.
Wow. Okay, that's huge.
Yeah, it really makes you think.
It does. It
Got
does.
a whole new perspective.
Okay, someone's listening to this.
Yeah.
And they're like, all right, I'm in, I want to buy a business. Where do I even start?
First things first, think about what you're passionate about.
Okay, yeah.
What are you good at?
Yeah. What gets you excited?
Exactly. Because running a business, it's hard work.
Oh, yeah, long
Now,
haul.
lots of ups and downs.
Got to be ready for anything.
Exactly. It's got to be something you really care about.
Otherwise, what's the point?
Find your passion and then start researching.
Okay.
Look at different industries, businesses that align with your interests.
It's dating a little bit.
Yeah, kind of. You got to
You're-
find the right fit.
You got to find the right business.
Exactly.
But also, that business has to be right for you.
Absolutely.
Are you a good fit for that business?
It's a two-way street.
Exactly.
And don't be afraid to walk away if something doesn't feel right.
Trust your gut.
100%.
Find your passion, do your research. What else?
Be patient. It takes time.
Yeah, it's not going to happen overnight.
It's a marathon, not a sprint.
You got to be in it for the long haul.
Exactly. The right opportunity will come along.
It always does.
It's just a matter of being prepared.
Love it. Any final thoughts before we wrap things up?
We've talked a lot about the money, the economics of it all,
The dollars and cents.
but there's a human side to this too.
Oh, for sure.
These businesses, they're part of our communities.
Yeah, they're not just numbers on a spreadsheet.
They represent people's lives, their dreams.
They're legacies.
Exactly. So as we navigate this big shift in ownership,
Yeah.
let's remember that.
Let's not lose sight of the human element.
Exactly. Let's approach this with responsibility.
I love that. Responsibility.
Let's preserve the heart and soul of these businesses.
For the next generation.
Exactly.
Beautifully said. Beautifully said.
Thank you.
Listeners, that's about it for this depth dive.
This was great.
I hope this got you thinking
Me too.
about the future of building wealth, creating something new.
It's an exciting time.
It really is. So until next time, keep exploring, keep learning.
And keep diving deep.